Okay, I just got back from hiking. Now I have to add tons of decorations to my African cichlid tank before I have to make dinner in just like 20 minutes or so, 8 minutes your time, but we have to do it before I have to do that. And so this is gonna be a very rushed video, and these decorations are plants I took from another tank in another video, but now I wanna add them to the African cichlid tank because they haven't had new plants in a long time, and I think they'd look really nice in here if they don't eat them, but we're gonna check that out. I'm talking really fast, and that's the whole point of today's video, is to do this in a rush. Let's get to it. So the plants I'm talking about are from this guppy tank right here, and there are a bunch of Vallisneria plants in here, and I'm just gonna take these out and plant them in the tank over there. They've been sitting here for a while because I was traveling, but they look all good still, and like none of them have died. So now that these plants are open, let's go ahead and open this tank over here. Again, I'm talking really fast and I'm just having fun with this, so let's do it. The fish are really hungry, as you can see, and they tend to, like, these plants are doing really, really well, which I love because I think they're feeding off the type of substrate in here, which has like calcium and different minerals in it. And the fish poop a lot, which they love as well. These, like, all these new plants over here are actually new babies that sprouted from the mother plant over here, and then they grew up just as big, which is insane because the plants must be getting lots of nutrients to do all that. All right, let's go ahead and move everything. I'm out of breath. Okay. Sorry, I'm like laughing at myself laughing on camera. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm recording and like laughing at myself, but then I'm like, I'm also like out of breath and I can't hide that. Whatever. Okay. Where I'm thinking of putting some of these plants are in clumps, like back there, maybe over here, and then over there, and maybe a clump over here. Ideally back there, but that's a lot of work to get back there. So I think just like in the front, and I want to make sure they're getting enough light so that they're okay. I'm gonna get a towel because every time I do this stuff, I get wet and the floor gets wet, and I have wooden floor. Also guys, you know how I was talking about in my last video that these plecos were doing well? Well, one of the babies actually did die, and I realized in the footage when I showed you guys yesterday, one of them was dead, which makes me believe it's not breeding, that something's wrong with the water. So I haven't changed the filters in the water that comes in like a year. So it's probably about time to change them. Although a lot of water doesn't go through them, they might be ready, and maybe these fish are just overly sensitive to the water, and that could be it. So I need to make sure I order more filters. These are the filters I'm talking about, which are carbon, block, and sediment, and we're just gonna go ahead and move forward. But yeah, so hopefully once those filters come in, then the fish won't have any issues. But no other fish in the fish room are bothered by it. The other plecos I have in this tank aren't bothered by it. So it's either that or electric stuff, but there's no other fish in that tank having issues. So I'm also treating the tank just in case. Could be bloat maybe. I was reading online, don't really know. Why am I talking so long? We got a lot to do. Okay, so we gotta get all these plants in here. And what I'm gonna do first is grab all these plants out into a bucket, or into this container. Don't look at my messy room. We're gonna get them all in here, and then it'll be much easier to plant them. I'm just gonna take them out. Now remember there being like smaller ones. There were also dwarf sage. I don't want the dwarf sage. We're just gonna take all the Vallisneria. That's what we want, tons. Okay. That's dwarf sage. Where's the dwarf sage here? I don't remember what I did with the dwarf sage. I had it separated in clumps. I'm running out of time. Now, normally I plant with my hands, but I think with this time, it'd be easier with tweezers. So let's use these tweezers right here. I'm gonna just take clumps out. All right, guys, progress check on all the plants I've just done. If you take a look, I got some of the grass back there, some up here, and some over here. I think I'm gonna put some back there to give it some depth, but we still have a lot to go. And I think it's starting to look good. I wasn't sure how it was gonna look because I did want more grassy, like, plants to make it look like seaweed. This is a freshwater tank. I might group up more clumps together to give it really like a lush feeling. Whereas these plants are really like thin and the stems are mostly showing. And that way the fish might pick at the plants a lot less if there's too many of them together rather than like by themselves over here. So let's get to doing the rest of them. And then to help some of these plants do better, I'm gonna give them some root tabs and trim some of the other plant in here so that more light can hit them and hopefully give them the best chance of growing and establishing themselves in the tank. Now in here, you can see all the plants I trimmed out and all the leaves, and then I put all the little root tabs with all the bunches. I'm gonna let the tank clear up for a bit, and then I'm gonna show you guys like a final look at it. But I think it makes a decent enough difference. It also helps lock some of the shells. And once the lights move back, then we really get to see it. And then we'll also feed the fish. Now it's perfectly time for me to go make dinner for my family. All right, it's a new day, and the tank has cleared up so much more, and we're gonna go ahead and feed them because the fish are hungry. So if you guys can take a look at the new tank, take a look at all the plants and how it's looking. It's cleared up the water. And I love just seeing like the grass grow in, and it's only a matter of time before we see how well this plant can establish itself. Over here, some of the plants were uprooted a bit, which is okay. We'll maybe have to replant them a bit. Maybe I didn't plant them correctly the first time, which is all right. And then like, look over here, there's another baby fish just hiding amongst the plants. And I just think that looks super natural and just super cool to see in the tank. Let's go ahead and start feeding them. We got our pellet food right here. Just gonna dump it in. I think they don't really know where they're supposed to be getting the food because they're all the way over here. And I normally feed them in this corner, but today they're maybe blocked by the plants a bit. But there they go, they're eating. And I'll probably put a little bit more because I don't think I fed them yesterday. But they're definitely, I think, a little shy from me putting my hands in the tank. And this is just gonna help them. But I'm really excited for these plants to grow in because like I just think it'll help the tank look more, you know, under the sea kind of vibes, even though it's all freshwater. Like it just looks like seaweed a bit. And these plants don't really have a lot of leaves at the bottom where they all send them up top. There's a baby fish right here. Oh, he just had like a giant pellet in his mouth, but I think he finally got it swallowed. Like they just hold giant pellets until they can get some all soft, which I just think is super funny. You can even see like the catfish playing with the pellets or just like chewing on them until they can get them in. It's just funny to watch them. Also, you guys wanted to see what meal I made? I forgot to take a picture of the food I was rushing in a hurry to cook, but I just heated up some frozen chicken and then made some salad. So that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe down below. Also check out this video if you enjoyed this one. I know you'll love it. Have a great and beautiful day. You are awesome. Don't ever forget that. See you in the next one.